Hey everybody, welcome back to the Teach Back Method, where I teach you guys something I'm learning about in grad school to help me understand it better. For today's video, we are going to be discussing diagnostic tests for shoulder pathologies. Let's break it down. As you can see, there are quite a few shoulder pathologies, but we're going to break them down one by one. So our very first one is rotator cuff injury, and this one actually does have a test cluster. Only two of these on this list have a test cluster, one of which being rotator cuff injury. The cluster includes 3 tests, and they are the drop arm sign, our painful arc, and the infraspinatus manual muscle test. Now here is our cluster for diagnostic, but there are 2 additional tests that we can do, and they are the belly press and the lift-off sign. Now, I did throw thoracic outlet syndrome in here. There are 3 tests that we can do to really rule this center out, and they are the Ruse test, Halstead, and the Adson's test. The next pathology on our list is subacromial impingement. This is the second pathology that does have a test cluster. And I know all these are going to be very overwhelming, but for the clusters, they actually do overlap. So what I mean by that is 2 of these are actually going to be in the test cluster for subacromial impingement as well. So we're going to have the painful arc and the infraspinatus manual muscle test. And then the third item in our test cluster for subacromial impingement is the Hawkins-Kennedy test. Now, once again, this is a cluster. There are additional tests that we can perform, and they are the Neers test, and then our scapular assistance. The next shoulder pathology that we might see in the clinic is our biceps tendon pathology, and I do want to clarify that this is the long head of the biceps tendon. There are 2 tests to confirm or deny this pathology, and they are the Speeds test and Jurgensen's. I definitely did not spell his name right. Our next pathology is for the AC joint. There are 2 tests to confirm or deny this hypothesis, and they are the O'Brien's test and the crossbody adduction test. Our next pathology is testing for a labral tear, and this is another one that does kind of cross with a different category, so we're actually going to pull O'Brien's down here. And then there are a few other tests that we can do for a labral tear. They are the biceps load, the anterior slide, or sometimes you might hear this as the shoulder slide test, and the crank test. The last pathology that we might test for in the clinic is for glenohumeral instability. There are a few tests that we can do to confirm or deny this hypothesis, and they are the apprehension and relocation, the load and shift, sulcus sign, and the anterior posterior drawer. this video helped you to kind of organize and learn all the different diagnostic or special tests we have for different shoulder pathologies, come back to my page to learn more.